I didn't get the bid, the stuff done for Lobar. That's the biggest crock of crap I've ever heard, Jamal. I was in the meeting with Rob Harkins, Chief Lutz, and with Tyler Hill from Lobar in October, trying to get out a pick list that they had for over almost a year, since April, that was not completed. And then the board in executive session agreed to have a demand letter written by the solicitor, which was written, to send to Lobar. But at that time, instead of sending a letter, a board member asked that, let's not send a demand letter, I'm going to paraphrase, and let's give them a chance, let's talk to them. So I was all in favor of the demand letter, and if we'd have sent it in November when it was drafted, that stuff would have been done by the end of the year. We would have paid it $250,000. But that's when you, Mr. Abadalo, got involved with the board supervisors, and I was kicked out of the picture.
Your time is up, I'm sorry.
Well, I'm responding. I'm not here for 3 minutes. I'm here responding to accusations.
2 minutes. You get 2 minutes.
Excuse me. I'm responding to his accusations. So this is baloney. This Excel spreadsheet, that's a lie, as Mr. Wintermeyer said. I was in there. Save your funky comments about whether I was paying attention or not.
Okay, Tony, you're over your time.
All right, let me say one last thing. If that gentleman was addressing the board in executive session about the budget, why would he be doing that if I was the manager who was running the budget?
Okay, your time.
BS.
We're sorry. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Next, I have Nevin. Nevin, name and address, please.
Nevin Shank, 575 Red Mill Road. I'm going to take a deep breath. You guys try to do the same, everybody, please. In September, my wife and I came home. This is a repeat of the subject I talked about at the January 6th meeting. In September, my wife and I came home to a parking lot full of about 12 PennDOT, DEP folks, et cetera, about the Red Mill Stone Arch Bridge. And we provided them a lot of information at that time. We talked about traffic, we talked about water going under it, and all the kind of stuff that I could help them with. They also shared with me that the plan was to replace that bridge. Okay? So, on January 6th, I did come to the Board of Supervisors, and in public comment, I made you aware of that conversation and that visit. Apparently, the township at that point had no knowledge and may still not have official knowledge of what's going on. And what I wanted to do tonight was just kind of bring you up to date. So this is going to be kind of easy, I hope. PennDOT has completed their site review. And on the 7th, PennDOT posted the project on their Path PennDOT page, which is where they go to publicize stuff like this. And the project description is bridge replacement. And again, this is a bridge on Red Mill Road. It's a humpback one-lane bridge. PennDOT is in the preliminary engineering phase right now, and they anticipate that it might be another year before they complete that process. They're also in a phase where they do a historical resources survey. And they said that'll take about 6 months, roughly. And they also said to me, and I've had a lot of emails back and forth with some people in PennDOT, that they're going to be contacting the township and probably at some point provide you with information and ask for someone to be identified to represent you with them on an ongoing basis about the replacement of the bridge. Anyhow, history. For those who don't know, either you folks or the folks in the audience, that bridge was built in 1910. It is one of 2 stone arch bridges within the township. The bridge is actually a York County bridge. It's Bridge 202, and they've given it to PennDOT to replace. The bridge was to be replaced in 1987. As a result of the efforts of both public officials and residents, that replacement was, the bridge was saved, essentially. Since then, funds have become available. PennDOT's put it on their agenda to replace it. And I gave you some information about timeframes. And they did tell me that the bridge is no longer eligible for historic preservation, which was apparently eligible for back in 1987. And they said that was due to some renovations that were done to the bridge, which is simply they replaced where it was an erosion underneath the bridge and put walls on both sides. And for whatever reason, that
Time's
that's
up.
a negative in there. Pardon?
Your
Time
time's
is
up.
up.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, finish what you were saying there, but you're at your
Your
3
time is
minutes.
up.
I'm not even where I want to get.
Okay, well, you have your 3 minutes because it's not an agenda item.
Am I done? Or can I have a few more minutes, another 2 minutes? I'd appreciate
Very
that.
quickly, because we
Okay.
don't need the whole history of the bridge. We know that the bridge
Okay.
used to be historical and it's not anymore.
My wife would be here to do her 3 minutes, except she's grandchild sitting right now. I've sent a bunch of questions. My wife and I have to PennDOT questions, concerns, and recommendations. They're going to go on their path for PennDOT. They're going to respond to those in PennDOT. And what I was hoping to do is present a couple of those to you tonight and then tell you what my next step was. So what I'll just do, skip that, go to my next step, and I'll come back next time and I'll tell you what those items were, or I can send you copies. My next step is, obviously, we are interested in saving the bridge. It's one of the few beautiful historic items, if you will, within the township. And my plan is to meet with your planning commission and to see if they have any interest in supporting something to you folks about reconsidering the replacement of that bridge and maybe come to you with a recommendation. So that's my next step. At some point in the not too distant future, I'm hoping you folks actually put this on the agenda, once you've met with the PennDOT folks, and give the public an opportunity to comment on the replacement of that bridge.
I'd like to make a quick suggestion to you and then we're done.
Yeah,
Contact York County. It's their bridge.
I'm aware of that, yeah.
You
Yeah,
have to
I'm just,
contact them and get them on the historical people at PennDOT. in order
we're
to do
already
that.
working with the historical, yeah, we're doing
All right.
it. Not with Newark County, but I will. All right, thank you very much for your time.
Dave,
I'll be back
can I
next
make a
month with
comment?
about 3 more minutes worth.
Sir,
Yes,
may I suggest, if you do have more information for us, if you send us in via email?
I can do
We have a
that.
chance to review it. I know, time.
to whom
3 or
would you
5
like me
minutes.
to address it to?
Uh,
Give me a
all
name.
five of-
I
all
would
five
say
of
look
them.
on the,
Jamal? Mr. Abadella?
it is on the website.
Bob?
But unfortunately, it may not be.
You can send it to all of us. Send it to all 5
Okay.
of us.
Yes.
Send it to
All of
me.
our email addresses are on the website.
Someone said my information's on the website?
No, all of our email addresses, the board.
All of our
okay.
email
Oh,
addresses
on your
are on the
website,
website.
okay.
Correct. And
Okay.
if you have an issue, please call into the
You'll,
township.
you'll get an issue and feel comfortable and give me a phone call. I can give you contact names, phone numbers, and email addresses too.
All right.
All right?
And Nevin,
Thank you.
You have my phone number. We've talked about this.
Yes, we have.
Feel free to keep me up to date on it and anything I can do to help. And I'll spread the information you give. So
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, you want me to work through you then, always? I mean,
well, you
if
can
don't
send to
mind-
them also, but I'm just saying you need to call anything. Just call. You have my number. Call.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks, Nev. Steve,
Live stream down?
did the screen go down? What's the matter?
Live stream's down.
Thank you, Aaron.
It's not on our side. You don't have a picture?
No, live stream.
The live streaming's
Oh,
not
the
working.
live stream's down. Oh.
Come on up, Steve. Got it straightened out.
It should fire back up.
Steve Toomey, 160 Cragmore Road. I just want to thank the supervisors for taking care of the eyesore, which is next to my property. The old house that was condemned and it was demolished. They finished today and
Good.
put dirt down, so I do appreciate that. One question I would like to ask is, what was the cost of that demolition?
Jeremy?
I do not know the numbers off the top of my head.
You can call in and get that from Jeremy, but
Best guess?
It's approximately $23,000.
$23,000.
Approximately. We don't have, like Jeremy said, we don't have the exact number, but I can provide you with
Okay.
these numbers.
And I'd asked Jeremy this, but being that lot size is around a half acre, just over a half acre, it's going to be difficult to build on that now because now there's no structure and now you have to meet all the zoning requirements. So
What do you have here?
we have a lien against that property, am I correct?
yeah, you'll have a lien against
Yeah,
that
we have a
property.
lien against the
Yeah.
property, so hopefully we can get our money back.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
We don't have a lien on it yet until it is completed and they fulfill their contract.
Okay, so, did you hear that, Steve?
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay. John Williams?
I'm good for now.
You're good for now? Connie Flasher?
Connie Flasher, 395 Eden Road, Edders. First of all, I would like to also reiterate that the budget was not done legally. There are several line items that exceeded the 25% as stated in the township code, as well as on line items particularly, and that's outlined in the code. There are three line items. Legal expenses went up by $50,000. Line item 492-2 went up by $250,000. And to clarify, you must classify expenses and revenues. You can't just have a budget at the end of the year that says we're in the excess of $635,000. Secondly, the use and occupancy for this building has never been approved. So we are having meetings here, people in and out here. There's no final use and occupancy, there's only a conditional. What I'm told from L&I, it's because you want an exception for ADA requirements for a police locker room and bathroom. If we're not gonna follow the ADA requirements, then how do you expect the public to do it in a public building? And we're using it every month. Thirdly, I want to know, were all of you involved in the process for hiring a manager? Was a background check done? Do you all know that there was an ethics violation in 2024 by our manager? With experience, he had 15 years, I believe, in Muhlenberg Township, which is a first-class township. And although first class, second class, and the city, which he was in Reading, are different entities totally, they all require different things. So maybe in the first class township, I was in second class townships and home rule charter municipalities for 30 years. But perhaps in the city and the first class township, things are different when it comes to advertising for budget items. He has a business, if you know or don't know. In my right to know, I was not privy to what kind of a business it is, other than it's a property business. Does that property involve any properties that he's meeting with developers now? The developers now are meeting and having discussions with him. Is that going to be a conflict of interest with his interest in his company? Is there a manager's contract? And the other thing, pardon me?
30 seconds.
Okay, well, you just interrupted me. And the last thing is, the Planning Commission was postponed twice. There are fines that are associated with not following procedures. There's a $100 to $1,000 fine for the first offense and $500 to $2,000 for the second. Shouldn't he have known that this needed to be advertised with the appropriate times for the experience that he supposedly had, so that these meetings would have been held on time?
Thank you. Jane?
Good evening. I have a couple things. The one I'll just wait till the report comes up and ask about it then. Sewer report. It says the Old Trail Sewer Extension, 1 connected, 11 paid but not connected, and 1 unpaid. So my question is, are they required to connect? Sorry, it's my dog's feeding time. Is it required to connect immediately, or do they have a year? What is the connectivity on that? I would like to know that. I guess that would be under Brett, is sewer reports, that's under you. Then I want to ask again where the $2 million is. Last month I asked, and I was being assured that you were working on it, Rob. So it was being worked on, not you specifically. And you would give us an update. So I was coming to see, and I told you I'd be on top of it, asking for an update. So
No new update. We're still working on it.
okay, so that's that. I'll wait for the rest to go on when the reports come up to ask about it. Okay, thank you.
Well, you know you can only talk during public comment.
When did that get switched?
We started the policy.
January.
We started the policy in January. It's a policy that's been in effect for a number of years, and we're following the policy.
Okay, well then you just took some of my time. Under the manager's report, manager met with developer interested in site to place data processing center. The developer is looking to place a 1 million to 3 million square foot building. That was under the manager's report. I'd like to know about where are we looking at to put that piece of property? And do you have any other data for that? Or is it just a 1 million to 3 million? I mean, that's the size of Chewy, like 3 times the size of Chewy to be, that's huge. So do we have any updates on that piece of property? I think we need to know as a community on that one.
As a community, I'll tell you that that is in the very preliminary stages. It can't come in until 3 Mile Island is up and running. And they don't even have a piece of property yet in the township. They're just hoping that they can work with us to do something. Okay?
Well, I can give you an update on that if you want, Dave. I had a phone call Saturday about this same thing. The property beside me is up for sale, Newberry Auto Salvage. And the company wanted to know why I wasn't interested in buying it. So I called him back and he told me about it, and they're looking to buy.
They're looking to buy something.
Rogers.
They would like to buy it in the township. However, we are competing with 4 other townships on this side of the river and 3 or 4 townships on the other side of the river. So just somebody coming in and having a conversation doesn't mean we're building anything.
Okay, I'm just asking. It was on the manager's report. I want transparency. That's what we've been
I'm
asking
giving
for
you
years.
transparency. There we go.
Excuse me, everyone. I was on that call.
Okay.
There is no plan submitted. There is no identification of property within the township. It was, it was just a preliminary call, and it was amongst probably all farm or agricultural dominated townships and or boroughs around York County. We represent 40 of them out of my office. I'd say probably half had the same call. So there is nothing imminent coming with this. It was an indication of what does your township look at for data centers? We don't have a data center ordinance in this township.
We don't have a lot of ordinances that we need to put. Right. Okay.
I count on one hand and one finger the amount of ordinances for data centers that are in the state of Pennsylvania right now, and it's out in western PA.
Okay.
So there's a lot that don't have it. So you can't knock them for not having it when one out of, what is it?
I'm not knocking. I'm just saying there's
I'm
many
saying-
other
I'm
ordinances
just
that we
saying
need to
this is a new-
update.
This is a
Okay.
new item, so please, I'm asking that if there is any indication that something is going on, I was on the call, there is nothing going on in terms of a definitive plan. It was purely a very, very high-level conversation
Okay.
with
Thank you.
a lot of townships across the board. You had individual conversations with a lot of different townships, so.
I just know that we hear this isn't Mayberry anymore, but we just need to, this is somewhat Mayberry to me. So
I get it, but.
Thank you.
There's nothing untoward going, there is nothing.
That's for you, Dave.
Nothing submitted, I'm done.
right. Thank you.
Okay?
One other thing, finalize the lease agreement with the
I just try to
Bancorp.
be transparent with you, Jane, about what I got the phone call for.
I appreciate that, Claire. I appreciate that. So, finalize the lease agreement with Bancorp for leasing 2 police vehicles with option to purchase after 6 months. When we checked it that last month, we looked at that, and it was not a 6-month, it was a 4-year. So that got switched to 6-month on the manager's report. I'm just questioning that also.
The lease can be a 4-year lease, but we can pay it off in 6 months.
Well, he wrote
Buyout.
his thing on here is with an option to purchase after 6 months is what it sounds like. He's not putting 4 years, he's putting 6 months is what I'm questioning that.
That's how the lease reads.
Okay.
Thank you.
Robert. There you go. Because I know I was going to screw that up real bad.
That's all right. I do myself sometimes. My name is Robert Cuthbertson. I live at 95 Sam Sneed Circle here in Edders. I'm just following up on a meeting. I think my dates are not all perfect. I believe it was in September 2023 about the speed limit signs in my neighborhood. I'd like to know what the progress is of that.
They're legal.
I don't have a one on my street.
Okay. But
That was the whole issue.
that has all been updated.
No, sir, it hasn't.
Well,
There's no speed limit signs on my street.
okay, there may not be any on your street. However, all the
Well,
speed
why
limits.
not?
Well, now wait. All the speed limits in that whole development were illegal. You couldn't write any citations anyway.
Well,
So-
something's got to be done because there's people coming down my street at 45 miles an hour.
well-
if you lived there, by God, it'd be taken care of. Excuse me, Lord.
Well, maybe.
No,
However-
what do you mean, maybe?
however-
if any board member here
Okay,
has
just-
cars
just
going down
re-
your street at 45 miles an hour in a 25-mile-an-hour zone,
Oh, I agree.
something would be done.
I 100% agree. And I tell you what we'll do. I'd like to make a motion that we have the attorney. Can't do it?
agenda.
Not on the agenda. Be on the agenda next month.
Very good, I'll be here. Secondly, I live on a very dangerous hill. There are no separation lines on that street. School buses coming over that hill is doing 25, 30 miles an hour in the middle of the road. There are no lines. There's 6 hidden driveways within 100 yards of where I live. Somebody's going to get killed there one day, ladies and gentlemen. They're coming over that hill in the middle of the road. Somebody's going to get hurt. And there's 6 families that are trying to get out of their driveways. Something's got to be done. There should be a sign up there. And I know these signs exist because I've seen them in this township. And it says, caution, hidden driveways. It's simple. I don't know why it's taken so long to get this addressed. It's September 23. It's now 2025. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. What was the name of your street again?
95 Sam's Need Circle.
Yonder?
There's a very
Out.
dangerous hill there.
I'm going to take it up with the police after.
Yes, ma'am. When they did this road survey, Lieutenant Diddy,
I think. All right.
Lieutenant Diddy, the chief, put the speed limit thing up there. Even Lieutenant Diddy told me that coming through that area, over that hill, 25 miles an hour was too fast. I carried a shield. I had high-speed defensive driving. I couldn't get through that hill without hitting my brake. It's unsafe. Somebody going to get killed.
We'll take it up with the police. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Alan Dees? How about if I do an address? 1635 Old Trail?
Know what?
Know what? You don't want to talk? Okay. Cody Cully?
Good morning. I'm just here to update. My name's Cody Cully. Speaking on behalf of Newbury Township Events Committee. Just wanted to give the public and the board a quick update on our Spring Festival coming up on May 4th, which will be held at the Newbury Commons Shopping Center in the parking lot in front of the Rite Aid building. As of now, we have about 32 registered vendors and almost 50 spots sold for it. So if you have local businesses or any sort of merchandise you guys like to sell or want to take part into the event, there is forms available here and on the website itself. We have multiple musicians, vendors that are going to be there and take place. We have strong support from several local companies, fire departments, and there'll be a large cornhole tournament with payouts. There's going to be a bounce house village, rock wall climbing, and lots of games and stuff for kids and stuff. So very inexpensive event to come share with the family and whatnot. Let me look here. After our meeting this afternoon, we just asked that if you see the ad floating around Facebook, it's a pretty powerful item these days. If you're able to share the page just to kind of get the word out, because make sure we kind of let everybody know about the event itself. We have other events that we're planning, such as potentially a food truck village, fall festivals, Christmas celebrations, Veterans Memorial, and some other events that we're going to start bringing to the community for everybody. And if there's any volunteers willing, or if you're interested in helping in these events, we can always use extra help as well. So that's all.
I'm also going to comment, we have our flyer out here for our national 250th anniversary for the U.S. of America that's coming for next year.
Thank you, sir. Sandra?
What, you can't pronounce Gonzalez?
Well, I was going to go there, but I
One-
wasn't sure.
140 Oak Road, York Haven. You know, I attend school board meetings at the West Shore School District, and I have to tell you, the decorum there is far more controlled than here. I was appalled last month at the way residents were allowed to address our chief of police. I was appalled at the way some of you were vilified and attacked. And I have to tell you, it is an election year in the township. And I suggest that some of the production and the showmanship that you guys are seeing here tonight has everything to do with the upcoming election. And I find it deplorable. If you are tired of our meetings being devolved into the circus that you have seen, see me after the meeting. I'm out knocking doors, and I guarantee you, our taxpayers don't want to pay for this nonsense. We support you guys, and you know what? You ought to be ashamed of yourself if you're doing this for self-serving purposes. If you are on this board of supervisors and you're working deliberately and continually against our police department and against the other supervisors on our board, and God forbid, against our new manager, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Our new manager is stellar. I'm sitting here watching these last couple of meetings. His breadth of knowledge is impressive. And I've got to tell you, I'm about fed up to here with this circus. I will be out in the community and I will be defending you guys' integrity. Our police force, that is a premier rated police force for 14, 15 years in a row. Do you know our police force, I believe it's Lieutenant Diddy, goes out and trains other police forces on some of the mental health that we utilize in our community, not just countrywide, but internationally as well. They are looking at what we do here in our township as a role model and as a blueprint for how they're going to handle mental health with their police departments. This is ridiculous. I want to tell you something. We're going to fight for you guys. I'm out in the communities and I'm letting people know how hard you guys work for little to no pay. I think you guys get a small stipend. This is ridiculous. And to our township manager, sir, I apologize. I apologize to you for the way you're addressed in this. The unprofessionalism is unbelievable. This is ridiculous.
Thank you.
Get a hold of yourselves and grow up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to have to go with an address on this one, 38, I think, 95 Lewisberry Road. Okay, you guess.
Oh, that's a pretty good guess.
Is somebody waiting to speak? Come up.
3895 Lewisberry Road? Anybody from there? 3895 Lewisberry Road?
Okay.
Okay.
And I believe it's Colin?
Okay.
Okay, you're good. All right. Okay. All right.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to, I have one thing to say about, stop shaking your head. I have one thing to comment on an agenda item. I didn't realize I wasn't going to be able to speak during it.
Okay.
I'll be brief. Even though I'm supposed to have 5 minutes, I don't need it. I just want to tag on to what Ms. Harmon said. My question was on the manager's report about the lease, and it was initially on last month's agenda to be a 4-year lease, and it looks like you signed a 6-month lease. I think you confirmed that just now. So I just want to confirm the copy of the lease agreement quote that I got from last month. 6 months states that the monthly payment is $12,067 with a $1 buyout, so 6 months at that. So that would equal, for both vehicles, $144,804 at some point during 2025. Am I correct?
It all depends on when we get the car with the vehicles.
Right, you don't pay anything till you get the cars.
it's-
But potentially, right? Because usually you should I'm thinking you get the cars within 6 months, but maybe not. Anyway,
I think the last one was
okay.
8 months before we
Well,
even got
well,
the
we
car.
got the car first. We didn't get the
Yeah.
outfit for about 6 months. But potentially, you could be spending that money in this budget year, I believe, right? That's an accurate statement. If it doesn't, it goes to next year. But the budget you passed allocated $40,000 this year for that capital outlay. So that was based on the lease agreement payments for the 4 years, because it was $19,000 a car. So that would make sense. But now that you've gone to this, you're going to spend $104,804 over the budget amount for the vehicles this year potentially. That's what my math says.
That's basically if the cars were received this year, fitted completely, upfitted all together. Yes, we will spend that money. There are reserves that we will be able to take that money from.
Okay, so you're overspent your budget already, and it's only February. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Anybody else? All right. I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting on January the 28th, 2025.
I'll make a motion, we approve the,
Looking for a second.
I'll second that.
Questions, concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, we're up to reports. Chief, Public Safety?
I just have a few things to add to the public safety report. York Haven Fire Department received a grant from Firehouse Subs as well, and with that grant, they received 3 flare devices, which they will be placing on their fire truck, in one each fire truck to assist them. Also, Newburytown Fire Department is having bingo on February 28th and March 14th. They also have a Traeger grill raffle tickets that are being sold from now, and I believe the raffle is April 17th. On to the police report. For the month of January, we handled 1,013 calls. We had 2 aggravated assaults, 1 burglary, 9 thefts, 1 motor vehicle theft, 4 drug offenses, 7 DUIs, 10 simple assaults, 5 harassments, and 23 all other offenses. They also handled 951 other incidents, including 21 traffic accidents. They issued 46 traffic citations, 140 warnings, 13 non-traffic citations, and 23 misdemeanor and/or felony arrests. I believe I was in another meeting when you guys had a moment in silence for Officer Duarte, and I thank you for that. Our police department thanks you for that, and his, fellow brothers in blue, thank you for that. I don't have anything else.
Okay. All right. Bill, you have anything on the engineer?
Nothing to add. My stuff's under new business.
Okay. Scott, Highway? Jeremy, Planning and Zoning? Supervisors, anybody got anything to add?
No, sir.
Down that way?
No, I don't.
Okay. James, anything to add to the solicitors?
Nothing to add.
Jane? Oh, by the way, that's the treasurer's report.
I do have something to add.
Okay.
The fence down there at the gate down there at Pines Road,
Yes, at the woods.
at the woods, it's still open.
Okay.
Somebody from Goldsboro complained about almost getting hit there, because somebody pulled out in front of them right there. But that gate has not been closed since they put the gates there.
Bill? Can you get a hold of Mr. McNaughton and tell him if he's not gonna put a lock on it, we will?
There's not even a lock on it.
Bill, if he's not gonna put a lock on it, we will. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Brent, anything under, sir?
I have nothing to add to my report, though. About that gate, though, before you lock it, it has to have a knockbox thing
If we lock it, it is what it is. They'll just cut it off with a padlock or with a. I'm well aware of that, and I believe you were given the information from Mr. McNaughton to put a Knox box on it 2 months ago. Right, but 2 months ago he was supposed to put the Knox box on it. Okay. Jamal, anything to add to your report?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to thank everybody for reading my report. That's very nice of you. Keep me straight, that will be highly deserved.
Okay. Under old business, I'm looking for a motion to ratify the Board of Supervisors' decision to assign a road assessment study to Pannoni Associates. What this is it's a study that's being done on all of our roads within the township. They'll be used in both Pannoni vehicles and our own vehicles. So if you see our vehicles riding around with cups hanging off of the mirrors or cups hanging off the front bumpers, we're trying to put a 10-year plan together on our road improvements. So instead of fixing a road that probably could have lasted a couple of years, we're going to fix roads that need fixed. So I'm looking for a motion to do that.
I'll make a motion, we ratify the Board of Supervisors' decision to assign the road assessment study.
Second?
I'll second that.
Questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Looking for a motion to authorize and to adopt the ordinance 432 for an intergovernmental agreement to allow the township to participate in the Capital Area or Capital Region Council of Governments Board of Appeals.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Questions, concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, we're moving on to new business. Looking for a motion to authorize to hire 9 part-time driver operators supporting the daily operations Monday through Friday at all 3 fire stations operating within the township.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, just very briefly, for those of you who don't know what's going on, we're hiring part-time drivers for the fire department so that the fire department will have part-time drivers during daylight hours, Monday through Friday, to help supplement, because on numerous occasions our fire services have had issues where they had people standing around but they didn't have a driver, where if we have a driver, it's all in the interest of making life better in the township. Any questions or concerns?
Is this, I'm confused the way it's written, is this just for Newburytown, isn't it, or all 3?
It's all 3 will benefit from it, yes.
Benefit or have a driver?
Not all 3 are going to have a driver. There's going to be 1 driver a day, but he'll be doing, like he'll have to go to Gold, or they will have to go, I don't know if we got any females that signed up, but.
The way the word looks.
Yeah, but they'll be going like to Goldsboro and checking their equipment, and then going to York Haven and checking their equipment, running generators, running tools that need run, so that when they need them on a scene, we know that it's going to work.
Not going to try to hire somebody from our departments, though? That's, seems kind of strange to me.
Well, the reason we're not hiring people from our own departments is that's taking away volunteers that we need to fight fire and not drive trucks.
You did tell me that.
Okay?
You did tell me that. Workman's comp, is that all figured out?
Yes. We had a meeting and we're in the process of getting that done.
Is it all figured out with memberships? All that straightened out?
Yep.
With memberships, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, that's figured out.
We're all set to go.
Good.
All right. So I'm looking for a motion to authorize hiring of, oh, yeah, I already have the motion. I'm looking for a second.
I'll second it.
Any more questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next I'm looking for a motion for the approval of the annual agreements for the 3 fire companies operating within Newberry Township's boundary. The agreement with Newberry Township Fire Company, an agreement with the Goldsboro Fire Company, and an agreement with Susquehanna Fire Company from York Haven. For the people in the audience that may not understand what we're doing here, the township's divided into 3 areas for fire service. So we are provided fire service from all 3 of the the people that I just brought up. So Goldsboro has a section, York Haven has a section and Newberry has a section, and it's just agreement so that they can continue to fight fire in the township. So I'm looking for a motion to do that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Second, any questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm looking for a motion to approve the emergency medical service agreement with Community Life Team.
Mr. Chairman, we're going to table this.
We're waiting on red lines to come back from UPMC Council. They've been a little busy with the events.
Okay.
So we're going to just table this till
Table
next
this,
month?
please.
Okay, I'm looking for a motion to table the emergency medical service agreement with Community Life Team till next month.
Table
It's just table.
I have a motion, I'm looking for a second.
You just
I
motion.
think you're saying it's just tabled.
You just tabled. You don't have to motion it.
Okay. Next, I'm looking for a motion to authorize the chairman of the Board of Supervisors and the township manager to approve and sign the second list of volunteer firefighters refunding for the 2024 real estate tax. The second list includes four volunteers from Goldsboro and one from Newberry Township. The collective real estate tax refund is $2,160.56. I'm looking for that motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, before we go into a vote, this is just as part of our incentive program toward our volunteer firefighters, to keep volunteer firefighters running within the township. This cuts their real estate taxes tremendously as a thank you for helping us. So,
This is a statewide
yeah,
offer.
that York County was one of the first counties to introduce it, and we were one of the first townships in York County to provide our volunteers with that.
What's the percentage that we get for our township?
Offhand, I'm not sure. I can get that for you.
I just wondered.
Jane has an answer for that.
Jane, do you know that? What is it?
It's a point system. If it's over 100 points, they get 100%.
Okay. Yeah, the fire departments all run under a point system. The point system that they run under was developed by the county when the county came up with their real estate cut, and that's how it works. So if you're real active, you might get 100%. If you're, there half the time, you get 50%, stuff like that.
We always currently know it's only elected to first responders.
Yeah.
And those that were hurt.
Right.
We're not including the volunteers.
That we're working on.
So we're working with
So.
other volunteers.
Okay, so all in favor of that signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Looking for a motion to authorize the approved Resolution 2025-11 for the Board of Supervisors to officially support the Pennsylvania Commission and the York County Commission to celebrate the United States wow, big word, anniversary.
Is what it is.
Yeah, that's way more word than I can deal with.
Make a motion to authorize or approve resolution 2020.
Thanks.
And that's what that banner is.
Yeah, that's what this
representing.
banner is.
That's what's going to be coming.
Yeah, that's the
For
one
next
we got
year.
from the county.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'll second that motion.
Questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm looking for a motion to authorize Pannoni Associates to conduct a traffic study on Grandview Drive to address the increase in truck traffic on this road. The study will provide recommendations to possibly limit truck sizes to 30 feet or under. East Manchester Township posted a whole bunch of their roads down there. So now we have truck drivers listening to their GPS, and they're putting them on township roads where they're not supposed to be. So that's what this is all about. So I'm looking for that motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'm looking for a second.
I'll second it.
Questions or concerns?
Is that supposed to be 36 feet or 30?
30.
We reduced it from other ones?
There's another one down there. It's already 30 feet.
Is it 30? Okay.
Yeah. 30 feet. 30 feet allows trash trucks, Home Depot to deliver, that kind of stuff. And it keeps.
How about school buses?
School buses should be able to go on it. I don't see one of our police officers writing a school bus up because they're on that road. So And if they do, that's more chicken shit, a lot of stuff. So, I have a second on that. Que-
I did.
Questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Authorize the township manager to advertise and seek competitive bids to provide portable toilets serving Shelley Park and Dolan Memorial Park.
I'll make that motion.
Looking for a second?
I'll second that motion.
Questions, concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Looking for a motion to authorize the township manager to prepare a request for proposal to receive competitive bids for revamping the township's website.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that one.
Questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Looking for a motion to authorize the award for a contract for replacing the Pleasant Drive Bridge. This is funded through the Multimodal Transportation Fund grant to the Krylon Corporation for a base bid in the amount of $418,628.95. We had a total of 6 bids for that, and they were the lowest bidder.
I'll make that motion. We award the contract to Krylon Corporation.
Looking for a second?
I'll second it.
Questions or concerns?
Just a note that I did ask Bill, and he did check out the qualifications of the low bidder, and he was satisfied with the qualifications.
Okay. Did we vote on it?
No, we need to vote.
Okay. Looking for a vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next, I'm looking for a motion to award the 2025 Road Repair Replacement Program funded by Liquid Fuels to Pensy Supply for a base bid of $532,300. We had a total of 5 bidders for that, and Pensy was the low bid.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Looking for a motion to authorize and adopt ordinance number 433 to the Newberry Township Code of Ordinances, Chapter 93, Recreation Board, to reduce the number of board members to 5 instead of 7. In addition, the amendment allows residents and property taxpayers to serve as board members.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Sorry. I got 2.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Got ahead of myself there. Next on the agenda is a request the following, there's no hearings for next month, right? No. Okay, well then we don't have to do that. Okay, board appointments. I'm looking for a motion to appoint Nevin Schenk to the zoning board, serving a 5-year term starting January of 2025 and ending in December of 2029.
I'll make that motion.
Looking for a second?
I'll second that motion.
Just one brief thing. I think Mr. Nevin will be a wonderful appointment to the zoning hearing board, but our ordinance requires that zoning hearing members are appointed by resolution. I don't see a resolution.
Okay. You'll have the resolution for us next month?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It wasn't posted.
We have a motion. We have a second?
Yeah.
Yep. you
Okay.
did.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, looking for a motion to appoint Mr. Edward Ostrander to the Planning Commission, serving a 4-year term starting in January 2025, ending in December of 2028.
I'll make that motion to appoint Mr. Ed Ostrander to Planning Commission.
Looking for a second?
I'll second that.
I ask you a question.
Sure.
We're appointing these people, we have to have a resolution next month. Does that mean next month's meeting, they won't be able to attend, right?
Planning Commission does not require a resolution.
It doesn't?
No, Planning Commission doesn't. The only one that requires
Is zoning.
is zoning. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good question for Nevins. Is he able to go to the meeting the next time, or?
Well, he can go sit in. I don't know that he can do anything, but you know, he can at least get an idea of what's going on there.
Well, I think he knows.
So, all right, well then, I'm looking for a motion to not appoint Nevin Schenk to the zoning board.
Dave,
I'll make the motion that we don't appoint Nevin Schenk to the zoning board.
Dave, can we just table it?
Yeah, just table.
We already voted on it. So we have to reverse the vote.
We can't do that, right? Why put Nevin through this?
Well, because it's Nevin.
So just a suggestion, if you want to go back and amend your, or amend the approval, I wouldn't have a problem with that. And then my suggestion would be to ask either the manager or me to draft a resolution for approval at the next meeting. That would remedy the situation.
There you go. Did you hear him?
So I make a motion that we make a resolution appointing Mr. Nevin Schenk to the zoning hearing.
Stop talking, please.
You amend.
Thank you.
You amend the approval
I make a motion we
Pending the resolution.
pending the resolution, and then you're asking the solicitor or the manager to draft the resolution for the next meeting, and you vote on it at the next meeting.
Got all that, Rob?
What he said.
What he said. You can go ahead and do what he said.
Motion we amend the resolution for the approval to include a resolution approving Nevin Schenk to the zoning hearing board, and we ask the manager or the attorney to draft a resolution for the next meeting.
Looking for a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Hang on, do we have to advertise this? Or can we? James?
No, it's a resolution.
Okay. All right, just making sure.
We're good.
All right.
He's done. You're
He's on
on.
the board.
Sorry about your luck. Looking for a motion to reappoint Jeffrey Holland to the Planning Commission, serving a 4-year term starting in January 2025, ending in December of 2028.
I'll make that motion for Mr. Jeffrey Holland.
I'll second it.
Questions, concerns? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Looking for a motion to appoint Jane Harmon.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
With regard to the appointment for the Parks and Rec, I've listed these. There are 6 volunteers. The board approves 5 positions. And the ordinance calls for the very first time appointment, one will be appointed for 1 year, the second 2 years, and so on and so forth until 5 years. When you mention the name, if you would please mention the name if you would like to, for that person to be appointed, and also for how many years you want an appointment. I just listed this to make sure that it's going on, but you can assign anybody for more than the years that's listed in here. So please mention the name, approve that if you would, and then assign the number of years for it. Thank you.
Okay. And the reason we're doing that is so that every year it staggers out until we get everybody up to date. All right, I'm looking for a motion to appoint James Harmon to the Park and Recreation Committee, serving 1 year with a term starting January 2025 and ending in December of 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Looking for a second?
Second it.
Questions, concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Looking for a motion to appoint Norman Seats to the Park and Recreation Committee, serving a 2-year term starting January 2025 and ending December of 2027.
I'll make that motion.
Looking for a second?
I'll second it.
Questions, concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Looking for a motion to appoint Colton Gauss to the Park and Recreation Committee, serving a 3-year term starting January 2025 and ending on December of 2028.
I'll make that motion.
Looking for a second?
I'll second it.
Questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And I'm looking for an appointment for, make sure I can get ahead
Cody.
of myself. Yeah, looking for a motion to appoint Cody Cully to the Parks and Recreations Committee, serving a 4-year term starting January 2025 and ending on December of 2029.
I'll make that motion.
Looking for a second?
I'll second it.
Questions or concern? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm looking for a motion.
Appointed 4, so you have either or for the next person.
Okay.
So in another sense, you need to either appoint or not appoint.
Okay. I'm looking for a motion to appoint Anthony Miller to the Parks and Recreation Committee, serving a 5-year term starting January 2025 and ending 2029, or appoint Coach Eric Rittler to the Parks and Recreation Committee, serving a 5-year term starting January 2025 and ending December of 2029.
I make a motion that we appoint Coach Eric Ritter to the Parks and Recreation Committee.
I make the motion we get Tony Miller for Parks and Recs.
You have to do one at a time.
We put them together.
You can, you're making motions, they don't come onto the floor until they're seconded.
Exactly.
That was right.
All right, I'm looking for
I'll
the.
second the motion to appoint Coach Eric Ritter to the Parks and Rec Committee.
Hold on, let me catch up with my notes.
Do you need a smarter pen or?
Huh?
Do you need a smarter pen or what?
Yeah, my pen got real smart.
Good, Dave.
Questions or concern?
All in favor? All in favor? All in favor? We have to vote.
I'm looking for questions or concerns.
Oh,
We have none?
no.
Discussion?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be the first one to speak up and admit, we had 2 viable candidates, and only 1 position left. And Tony, I do appreciate everything you've done over the years. You're a one-man show for the rec committee. Then you were able to pull Jane in, first for myself, and I do appreciate that.
Thank you.
My only reason to give my appointment to Coach is we had 5 individuals that came that are new, that have never done it before. They are eager. It's just bringing a different aspect into our parks and recreation. It's just different views from different people. We know what Tony's done and his missions and his goals for the parks, and we're still trying to get grants from some of his initiatives. So that is my reason when I got picked the 2, why I would lean one way versus another. And it's nothing personal. It truly is.
Then we should have never changed it from 7 to 5.
We couldn't even get 3 people
Yeah.
before. We had no
Yeah.
idea we would get 7 or 6. I mean, there was no interest as a.
And we
in
can
this
always
prior-
change it back to 7
Until
as
we
this
had
gets
an
moved.
events committee that started an initiative of trying to get things going on within the township. And like, whatever the name of your event is coming up.
Ours? Oh,
Yeah, it started with the Santa Claus and everything else. And
Our special events
We saw
committee.
more people in the community coming together, and then we worked on an initiative to get the Parks and Recs growing, and it's starting to take off. I mean, it's
Diane's
a
doing a good
positive
job with it.
thing.
excuse me?
So Diane's doing a good job with it.
Thank you.
So.
Can I have you folks stand? Oh, we didn't vote. We have to say yea or nay.
And Mr. Miller, we're probably gonna have another position open in a year.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can I say something first?
No, I'm sorry, we're not taking comments.
Well, if you look at the date from mine, I'm just gonna try to clarify something and correct it. That's the only reason I'm
Okay.
asking. You have me January 2025 to ending in December 2026.
yeah, you should be ending in 2025.
Yeah, good point.
Thank you.
Good point, yeah.
Okay, any questions or concern with the coach?
Where is the coach here?
Yep, he is. He is. Oh, he left?
vote first, right?
Oh, he left?
He
was here.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
The coach here.
you need to vote.
Yeah, we
on
have to
this.
vote.
You need to check the dates on a couple of them.
Okay, we'll verify that, thank you. Okay.
All in favor of Coach Eric, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay.
Does
Next
does everybody know the people? You want to stand? You want to stand? Cody? Colton? Oh,
Yeah,
is
okay.
Norm here? Is
Stand
Norm-
up so everybody can see who
Yeah,
you all is.
Yeah, can you stand?
Oh, did
Norm?
Colton leave too? Okay.
Cody, Cody, stand up, please.
Cody, you can
Pardon
stand
me?
up though.
Yeah, we appointed you. You can stand up. Nice try, dude.
Okay, so we're missing two. The other two were here, but they had to leave. So we're looking forward to you guys doing great things for us.
Okay, now, I'm looking for a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make that motion.
I'm looking for a second.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
I'll make that
that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Questions or concerns? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, yeah, when you gotta do all that. You know, and he's gonna have to.
No, it's mine.